What comes to mind when you think about the tea? Perhaps you think about a hot beverage, or maybe a secret that's about to be spilled. But if you're from Boston, Massachusetts, or Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the first thing you will think of is a transit system. Boston and Pittsburgh are both American cities, but that's where most of the similarities end. Pittsburgh is a thriving mountainous steel town, while Boston is a busy seaport. Let's explore these cities' unique transit systems. To start, let's see what different modes of transportations the both cities offer. The Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority operates 5 modes of transportation: heavy rail, commuter rail, light rail, bus, and boat, while the Pittsburgh Port Authority only operates light rail, bus, and funicular. First, let's check out the modes that stand out the most. The MBTA ferry serves as a shortcut for some of Metro Boston's communities that are hard to serve by ground transport. Being a seaport town, Boston has been using boat transportation since its founding in 1630, and it is something unique to only a few major transit systems in the United States. However, Pittsburgh's Port Authority has its own standout mode, hiding in the hills by the Mount Washington neighborhood. A funicular, or incline, is a rail system where 2 cars, running on cables, use gravity to push each other up and down an incline. Here in Pittsburgh, there are 2 inclines. The Duquesne and Monongahela inclines were both built in the 1870s, and are now the final 2 operating funiculars in Pittsburgh. Though they are mostly a tourist attraction, many people rely on the inclines to get to work and make a connection to Pittsburgh's light rail. And let me tell you, riding it is not for everybody. Check out that drop. Despite that, the funicular provides one with just stunning views of Pittsburgh's skyline, and if you're lucky, views of a Norfolk Southern train rumbling underneath the incline. Once you reach the bottom of the Monongahela incline, you will find yourself at the Station Square Light Rail Station. Speaking of which, it's time to compare the most similar modes that both of these cities hold: light rail. Starting with the MBTA. The MBTA's Green Line is Boston's oldest rapid transit line, and is considered to be the oldest subway in America. With 4 separate branches all funneling into one central subway, the Green Line is the MBTA's second busiest subway line, with roughly 40 million riders in 2019. For a city with nearly 640,000 residents, the Green Line is the 3rd most used light rail system in the country. Additionally, the Green Line extension opened this year, serving the previously unserved cities of Somerville and Medford. The MBTA operates 3 reliable types of equipment on their Green Line. The Kinky Chariot Type 7 cars, built in 1986, are the oldest on the Green Line fleet. The Breda LRV Type 8 cars, compatible for running with the Type 7s, were built in 1998, but due to a handful of issues, finished their delivery around 10 years later in 2007. Finally, the CAF Type 9 LRV, only compatible running with other Type 9s, were built in 2018. There are only 24 on the fleet, due to the MBTA's future desires for Type 10s. The future of the Green Line is bright. Riding inside of a Green Line car, you will find stop request buttons, maps, and signage, and lots of seats. On the Green Line, most seats face inwards towards the center of the car. So that may sound like a pristine light rail system to you, but the MBTA Green Line has had more problems than usual as of late. In July 2021, 2 Green Line trains collided on the B line, injuring 25 and damaging the cars involved. This accident can be blamed on the operator, but also the fact that the MBTA had not yet installed the Green Line train protection system. This system would automatically stop a speeding Green Line car before an accident would occur. Additionally, on June 1, 2022, Two Green Line cars collided just outside of Government Center when a non-Renovue train collided with an in-service train on a crossover. Not a good look for the MBTA. But enough in Boston, let's move out west to the Steel City. Pittsburgh's light rail began service in 1985, but the line as a whole is ultimately based off the roots of Pittsburgh's original trolley system, which dates back to 1903. Running under three colored lines, red, blue, and silver, each line begins on Pittsburgh's North Shore and ends somewhere around Pittsburgh's South Hills. The light rail system as a whole received roughly 7.4 million riders in 2019 for a city of 301,000 residents, almost half of Boston. The most recent extension of this system was the North Shore extension, which brought service to Pittsburgh's North Shore and the nearby sports venues. Something cool about this line is that it runs under its own gauge. Unlike the Green Line, which runs on the standard American rail gauge, the Pittsburgh light rail's gauge is a little bit wider. The Pittsburgh light rail operates two kinds of equipment. The Siemens SD400s were built in 1985 and rebuilt by CAF in 2005. Meanwhile, the newer CAF LRVs were built in 2004, and all of these pieces of equipment operate on each and every line. Cars typically run solo or in pairs, just like the Green Line. A rider's experience on the light rail is certainly pleasant. With plenty of signage, light, and maps, it is easy to know where you are going. The seats on Pittsburgh's trolley face in and out instead of facing inwards towards the middle of the train. Also, the Green Line and Pittsburgh light rail use almost the exact same fare machines. Yet another similarity. An important note about Pittsburgh's cars is that they are roughly 90 feet long, while all of the MBTA's Green Line rolling stock is around 75 feet long. Though not a vital difference, it still makes for a much more spacious or cramped ride. Now, you may be asking, have there been any recent crashes on Pittsburgh's light rail? Well, not really. The most substantial occurred in August of 2018, when a Norfolk Southern intermodal train derailed on the Monongahela line, located on Mount Washington. The derailment sent intermodal cars careening downhill onto the tracks by Station Square, but no trains were nearby and nobody was hurt. Other than small accidents like hitting cars or minor derailments, Pittsburgh's light rail has run smoothly as of recently. Now, I'd like to quickly give points to Pittsburgh's bus network, which has a total of 4 dedicated busways. With the first busway built in 1977, Pittsburgh rethought bus transportation much earlier than other cities. For example, Boston's bus rapid transit network, the Silver Line, came about within the past 20 years and has not expanded as broadly as Pittsburgh's. My final verdict will not come with a winner or a loser. These cities are just too different with their size and their population to declare one as a winner. But I will say that each T has many perks that the other does not share. And in the end, these are both very fine transportation authorities with optimistic futures. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing if you feel so inclined. Anyways, I'll catch you on the flip side, somewhere out there on the rails.